All right. Welcome to the Maximum Edge Sports Wagering Show. My name is John Santucci. Call me Tooch. I got two guys here with me tonight. We'll talk a little basketball tonight. Anthony's with me as always, my partner in crime. And we got Brian Edwards at Vegas B. Edwards. Brian, welcome back. Thanks for dropping by.
What's happening, fellas? Thanks for having me again. I forget if you guys had committed to a Super Bowl play when I last spoke to y'all. What'd y'all end up going with?
Bengals +4.
Me too.
It was a very profitable night. Let's just say that.
Nice.
Yep. We bombed your Bengals kicker over 1.5.
Yep.
I was about to say, did y'all get McPherson props over?
Yeah.
Yep.
I even did over 2.5. If they would have got in the field goal range, dude, it was +350.
Oh, I'm so glad I didn't have that option. I would have hammered it at +350.
Yeah. And if he would have got field goal range, there you go. He got the third field goal.
Hey, if they get that first down, anything 58 and in, it was going to be money, maybe 60.
That's it. Exactly.
So, man, 15 units on that for me, bro. It's like that was basically then a bunch of like for fun plays, $5 here, $10 there, a bunch of little plays. But that was as soon as that hit, I was like, my night's done.
What? Oh, you had the most on the McPherson props more than the Bengals?
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
Because, man, that was a mistake by the books, I
agree.
So,
-105. -105, they were dogs. What was it? The Rams kicker was more 1.5, -125. And I was like, he doesn't even kick that many field goals. He was more favored
to get field goals. That's just
stupid.
That was just
I was like, wow.
The other one I played was total field goals 3 by both kickers in the game, over 3. That also hit because Matt, what's the other kicker's name? Matt Gay, is that his name?
I think so.
He had 1, and then McPherson had 2, so that also.
I was thinking he had 2. He only had 1. My bad.
He only had 1, yeah. But yeah, let's get into a little college basketball. Tonight's games. Brian, tell us what you're looking at tonight for tonight's action. If possible, late night, fine. It's 6 o'clock. There's some games rolling right now. What games you looking at for tonight?
My favorite one is Maryland +6.5. I've had them in the last 2 games. I had them against Penn State the other night, and I can't remember if that was Sunday or Monday. And then I had them at Nebraska last Friday. And the game before that is where they really caught my eye is when they played Purdue so tough and had I think they had a 10-point lead at one point in the second half. They ended up losing by 1, but easily covered as a 17-point dog. But more than Maryland playing well here kind of all of a sudden, it's Indiana just falling apart here down the stretch. They've lost 5 in a row, both straight up and against the spread. And Rob Finney and Trey Galloway are both out tonight. I mean, they're not like their most important players, but I mean, Galloway averages 6.1 points per game. Finney averages 5.1 points per game. So, that's 2 role players, lack of depth. And now Indiana did put it on Maryland by 13, but that was, in January, late January, in College Park. But these teams have gone in different directions since then, and I'm feeling the Terps +6.5. That there was a book or 2 at 7 in the last hour and a half. I haven't looked lately, but so hopefully you get a 7. If not, I'm good with 6.5.
Well, right now, Indiana leads 15-11 early in the first half. Anthony, any games catch your eyes on tonight's slate?
Quite a few. There was quite a few games. A lot of West Coast games. I like the Belmont versus Murray State -3. I like USC -10. Gonzaga -10. I like.
Can I pause you at Gonzaga for a second there? I looked at this line last night, early this morning, and I said, "What the f?" I like Gonzaga. I don't see how San Francisco is gonna come within 10 of that. They have not played anybody the caliber of. They're going to find out tonight, how they measure up to Gonzaga. I mean, Gonzaga's a different animal. It's a shark in a goldfish pond. Brian, your thoughts on Gonzaga versus San Francisco?
Yeah, I was on a podcast yesterday, and I said I thought the number would be at least 12, and I wouldn't be shocked if it was, 14 or 15. And so I think it's Gonzaga or pass. San Fran has got some decent wins. I mean, they beat UAB on a neutral court. They beat Fresno at home. They beat Davidson on a semi-home. They won at Arizona State, which is playing. I know they've had a bad year, but they played better. They won by 14 at BYU. I mean, I think they're pretty good, but they're not on Gonzaga's level. Now, if Gonzaga, gets in foul trouble, has a poor shooting night, or San Fran shoots the lights out, but barring
that's the only way.
Yeah, really. Barring unless it's some craziness and poor play from Gonzaga or great play from San Fran, I think Gonzaga wins by 12 to 15 would be my guess.
Yeah, I would make this line about 14 to 15. Anthony, you're on Gonzaga tonight.
Oh yeah, it's already locked in. Yeah.
Yep. All right.
I did it first thing in the morning. I looked at the injury report. I looked more into it, and I was like, I'm not going to overthink it. It's Gonzaga. If I lose, then you know what? I lost with Gonzaga. It's -10 for crying out loud. What did I have? What did we played them when they were in San Francisco? I think no. What team was it that we BYU? I think they were -16, and I think they were up by like 33 at halftime. I mean, it was just ridiculous, and we were all like, "That's a low line for Gonzaga," and they just killed BYU. I mean, I know San Francisco was better, but 10 points. I'll take my chances.
I'm looking at it. They won that game by 33. We're up by 26 at half, and it was just blowout from the start, like you said.
Yeah.
Right. Gonzaga hasn't really played. I mean, the only really good team they played was Alabama, right? Ended up losing that game. But, they're kind of been playing teams where it's kind of like a cat playing with a mouse. They don't have to be super interested to win the game. And just go out there and, play it.
They're going to get a rude awakening.
They're going to get the win.
Yeah,
of course.
The teams they play, I mean, it's like, and it's not even fair. You know what I mean? Because once they go to the tournament, they're going to be like, oh, shit. This is a whole different type of player. This is a whole other kind of playing, So
that's what happened when they played Baylor. Well, when they played Baylor, I mean, the Big 12
you know what? That Gonzaga team was really good. I mean, it didn't matter. I mean, they made it that far. You have to be really good to make it that far. They beat some quality teams on the way. I don't know if this Gonzaga team is for real. I mean, these, like I said, the teams that they're playing they're nothing serious. I mean, Cal Poly, BYU. I mean, BYU is not a good team. Loyola Marymount. I mean, come on, seriously.
And this is a strong year for the WCC. I mean, you've got. Santa Clara is not great, but they're 76th in KenPom. I mean, you're usually talking about teams in the 180s to 250s, and none of them are playing Gonzaga close. What I think Mark Few needs to do, and I don't know if there's any like WCC rules that prevent this, but he plays all the big boys in November and December. He needs to save one or two of those non-conference games for late February, or just one in early February, one in late February, just to mix it up a little bit and go again. I mean, like he played UCLA, Duke, Alabama, Texas Tech, but that's all been more than 2 months ago.
Yeah, I mean, to me that's irrelevant because people play different. I mean, it's just a whole nother. The Duke in November is a completely different team than Duke now. So, going into the tournament, playing from November, the two different teams. Like Monmouth was on fire. The America's team going into beginning of the year. I mean, what did they cover? 8 straight games against the spread, and then they had the COVID pause, and now they're dog shit. So,
right. Not their unders though. Their unders are outstanding.
Yeah.
19-4 last 23.
And that's what matters. If you can find something like that that makes money, that's great. But to go straight up and cheering for them to win, they're two different teams now. It's crazy.
Yeah, well, Gonzaga found out, the type of athlete Baylor had last year. Yeah, the Big 12 probably the best, one of the best, if not the best, conferences in college basketball, along with probably the SEC. And Gonzaga's going to have a tough time if they're matched up with some of these SEC or Big 12 teams in the tournament. As you get into the late rounds. But all right, let's. This is a good chance to talk a little futures of the tournament, projected winners. I know, Brian, you're on a couple. If I were to give out a top 12, it would probably be Arizona, Auburn, Purdue, Gonzaga, Kentucky, Kansas, Duke, Baylor, Texas Tech, Illinois, Villanova, probably Wisconsin I might throw in there as well. But that would be like sort of my top 12 teams. Brian, who are you looking at? Maybe you might want to get in on some futures, possible hedge spot later.
Yeah, I've already played Texas Tech 25-1. They've won 4 in a row, 3 by double digits. They had a poor showing at Oklahoma, but they've won 7 of 8. The double OT game at Kansas, they should have won. If they would have won that, that'd be 8 of 9. That would be 10 of their last 11, but they let that one get away. But they're really in good form right now. Mark Adams has done a really good job. He's a goofy-looking son of a gun, but he can coach. He's doing a heck of a job. First-time coach, and going from Chris Beard, and he has just handled everything beautifully. I think this team is just now starting to peak, and they've had some injuries too. McCullough came back a couple nights ago, but he had missed a few games. And Shannon had missed a few games. Terrence Shannon had missed several games as well. So now they're back healthy, and I think they've got a legit shot to get in the title game like they did a few years back. But the other team that I don't think they can win the national title, but I think they can get to the Elite Eight, maybe the Final Four. And certainly when you're talking about a team at 70-1 odds, if they just get that far, you can have all kind of hedge options, taking their opponent on the money line in that game, taking their opponent's odds to win, then get on them. If they survive, then you have their ticket for the national title game, et cetera, et cetera. So I think Arkansas at 70-1 is a good number. I saw it was still there at DraftKings earlier today.
Wow.
They're 12-1, both straight up and against the spread in their last 13. Now during that stretch, they haven't played, many of the heavy hitters of the SEC, but they've got 3 of them coming up right now. They've got Kentucky at home on Saturday, then they host LSU, and then they're at Tennessee, where the Vols are undefeated at home. And I like the Vols. If they're -3 or less at home against Auburn on Saturday, the Vols are 3-0 against the spread as a single-digit home favorite. They haven't lost at home, and Auburn's 0-4 against the spread. Their last 4 road games, only 2 outright wins, and nearly lost to Missouri, only won by 1, and nearly lost to Georgia, only won by 2. So I like the Vols on Saturday. Now, if it were to go to more than 4, I'd probably not do that, but I'd probably even go all the way up to 4. But 3 or less, I love the Vols Saturday.
Very good. Anthony, your thoughts on futures for NCAA title?
My number one, my team to go all the way, if I had to pick today, is Texas Tech. They got the defense. They got the size. They can beat you in the perimeter. They can beat you in the jump shot. They can beat you inside. They have total package. And they can win on the road. And that is what's the difference in winning in the tournament and winning in regular season. Is teams struggle on the road, but they're very good at home. It's very easy to win at home when you got a home crowd and everything. Auburn, to me, they don't have a chance at home to even make the Elite Eight. I think they're way overrated. They're nothing but a home team. Like you said, they're struggling on the road. Gonzaga, I mean, I'd be shocked if they don't make the Elite Eight, Final Four. Arizona, that is a team to watch out for. Arizona is a huge threat. Purdue, watch out for Purdue. They got the size. They can shoot those threes. If they're down by 2, they have one possession, and all they need is one basket. I promise you, 9 out of 10 times they're going to get that basket. Not sold on Kansas. It's not Kansas's year. Not sold on Kentucky. They're too young. Duke make way too many mistakes. They're not going to make it. Nova, frauds. Texas Tech are my dark. Baylor, I love Baylor, but they're just too injured.
They're not healthy right now. I don't like the form they're in right now.
I love Baylor as a whole. I love how they play and everything, but they're just too injured, and it's a damn shame. But my dark horses, watch out for UCLA and watch out for Houston. Those are the 2 teams that will bust some brackets.
Yeah. I saw UCLA 25-1 today, and Houston was 35-1 on DraftKings.
See, the injury to Sasser kind of dampens that Houston chance, but they're still a darn good team, man. They're one of the few teams that are. Yeah, they're one of the few teams that are top 20 in both offensive and defensive adjusted efficiency. So
there's 2 things that those 2 teams have in common. They can win on the road consistently, and that's huge. They don't have to be in their home court. I mean, they can have the crowd against them. It doesn't matter. They're there to win, and that's the difference. Kentucky, they suck on the road. At home, you play on them at home. You fade them against the road, and that's what you do with Auburn. Like you said, they're 0-4 against the spread on the road.
It used to be
Auburn on the road.
Texas Tech used to not be that good of a road team this season, but lately they've
gotten better. As the season goes on, they just keep getting better and better. So I love Texas Tech. If I had to pick a winner today, it'd be Texas Tech. And I truly do believe they go against Gonzaga. They can beat Gonzaga. They have the manpower. They got the size. They can go toe-to-toe. The only difference is they got to set the pace to themselves, as the Gonzaga is going to want to run the court to court. So that would be
a revenge game because they lost to Gonzaga on December 18th.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep.
So,
but all right. Terrence Shannon wasn't healthy. He didn't play in that game. So I give the Red Raiders a mulligan. I mean, he's, if not their best player, he's top 2 or 3 for sure. Probably.
They weren't the same team. They weren't the same team, that's for sure.
No. And that poor showing in Oklahoma, that was probably one of the worst officiated basketball games I've ever seen. But let's talk a little NBA. I know, Brian, you're on a couple games tonight. I know that the Bulls are playing the Hawks. High over under total. You like the side tonight, though. Tell us why.
Yeah, the Bulls, I'm on them -3 versus my Hawks, and the Hawks are my team, but I will go against them here. The Bulls are 23-8 straight up, 21-10 against the spread in 31 home games. They went into the All-Star game, the All-Star break on a 5-game winning streak, going 4-1 against the spread in those 5 games. 3 of those wins by double digits. The Hawks have struggled on the road, only 11-17 straight up, 10-18 against the spread. No John Collins tonight, still injured with that foot, 16.8 points per game, 7.9 rebounds, 1.1 block shots. Yeah. So, and a little shorthanded, and I'm going to go with the Bulls -3. Levine is back, healthy. This is as healthy as they've been in a minute, if you will.
Anthony, our Bulls, they have made some good acquisitions this season with DeMar DeRozan and Lonzo Ball, and drafting Ayo Dosunmu, who's been really good even when Levine had the injuries, dishing out the assists, scoring, playing a lot better than a second-round pick. Bulls, Hawks tonight. I love the way Brian broke it down. You have anything you're looking at side total?
That's also on my card. I had the Bulls and I got one other NBA play. I mean, I couldn't pass up the Bulls at home versus the Hawks, who don't have the full squad in. They're at home and it's only -3. I mean, the Hawks are just getting too much love from my sportsbook. I mean, I'll take -3 in United Center with a full Bulls squad healthy.
Yeah.
I mean, John Collins, people don't think John Collins is a big factor. He is a big factor.
No doubt.
So him being out, that's a huge blow. That's like Zach LaVine not playing for the Hawks. I mean,
And I think John Collins was starting to play his best basketball this season too when this happened.
I agree. Yeah, he's been averaging 10 to 18 points a game. I mean, in that span, ever since he called out the coach and he wants more playing time, he's been scoring over double digits every game pretty much. So
that line has moved to -3.5 now. You still like it at -3.5, Brian?
I've already bet it -3. Just buy the half point to 3.
Yeah, I got the 3 already. Yeah.
Yeah. If I would just buy the half point to 3 if I had to.
Yeah. All right. I would say we give away a free play, and we'll get out of here, and we'll see Brian next time he joins us on Maximum Edge Sports Wagering Show. Here comes the free play music. All right, free play tonight is the Murray State Racers -3 over Belmont Bruins. I want to thank our guest, Brian Edwards, at Vegas B Edwards. Follow him on Twitter. Anthony, thanks again. Anthony and I are back Saturday.
Sunday, I think Sunday night. Definitely Monday, but possibly Sunday night.
We might be back sooner. We don't know yet. We'll find out. All right. Thanks again, fellas, and we'll see you next time on the Maximum Edge Sports Wagering Show. Good night.
And I'm the team captain. He's the preview, and I'm the main attraction. Unstoppable, unconquerable.